Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Irongeek Cast number 161. My Corona. How's everybody doing tonight?
Great.
Yeah, your whole environment has changed.
I just shifted everything from one side of the apartment to the other.
Boy, that sounds like a lot of work. What was the benefit or the payoff for that?
More of a space, and also not having the whole setup in the bedroom is nice because then I actually have to disconnect.
Oh, that's nice.
When I go to sleep.
So like social distancing from your computer.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll call it that.
Nice. My week has been interesting. So all of the citizenship stuff for my wife is currently on hold. She was supposed to have her interview on Monday, 2 days ago, with the expectation she'd probably go through the oath and potentially be a citizen as of like 2 days ago, like full-fledged. But yep, coronavirus sucks and put a stop to that one. So we are now on a undefined schedule.
Yeah, I'm hoping this stuff resolves itself quicker than some of the worst case scenarios, because quite frankly, I don't want to be trapped in here for another like 4 weeks. Currently, Indiana's on lockdown of sorts until how was it 11:59 on the 6th.
Well,
I think Ohio is the same.
Well, Kentucky extended theirs out till April 17th, so take that as you will.
We just got, at least in the county that I am in, Kansas side, there's 4 counties that have gone into lockdown all the way out to from Kansas City all the way out to Wichita in the past like 2 days.
But they haven't done it like statewide though. It's county by county.
Yeah, it's county by county depending on cases that are present. We've had 2 individuals that have sadly passed away because of it. Both of them were considerably older gentlemen, so which sucks.
Yeah, that's kind of a aggravating way of doing it. And 2, I think that's why Ohio did the complete lockdown, is because the vast majority of people who have it will never be diagnosed with it. Right? Yeah. Because they may have the symptoms, but if they don't have a previous respiratory or autoimmune deficiency, they're probably not going to have them necessarily come in to even get tested and go to the hospital. If their symptoms get bad enough, that's whenever they'll bring them in to do all that. So by going by who has tested positive and things like that, that's not the best way of determining, who should and should not stop going out publicly.
Yeah, right now, at least in the county that I'm in, it's down to only essential personnel or residents. So like your store clerks, shipping, blah blah blah. Your essential store or essential business workers are allowed to actually go outside right now. So technically, I can't go outside.
Yeah, I think just about everybody on this cast can.
Unless you have to go get only to go and get essentials, and that is like to your essential needs. So like prescriptions, groceries,
but
alcohol.
On the bright side, Pornhub is offering free premium memberships.
I did see that.
You had to promise to stay in, or at least wash your hands a lot, or something like that. There's like a disclaimer you have to sign when you check in. Or so I'm told. That's gonna be a data breach eventually that embarrasses me, but let he who has not fapped cast the first stone.
I don't have any rocks around me, but
I have 3D printed parts from a failed 3D print. Does that work?
At least it'd be lighter than a stone, I imagine.
Well, this one would probably just hurt.
you say from a failed 3D print?
Yeah, I tried to 3D print something. It was supposed to be a phone or a phone stand for my desk, so the phone would just fit in here, and then this would snap up and down.
Yeah.
Some of the parts failed, so I just have to go over a couple of the design iterations, or iterations on printing the actual parts themselves. I don't have to redesign anything, thankfully.
Gotcha.
Everything pretty much fits together. So this was like test 1.
Nice.
Took 5 hours, but you know.
To print?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the thing that sucks with 3D printing.
Well,
It just
considering
takes forever.
Considering it was 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just gonna grab as many of these things as I can real quick.
I mean, and where I said it takes forever, but in the same sense, it's still going to be quicker than getting something from a manufacturer.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay, yeah.
like all of these parts, and some of these are fairly large. Like this is like these 2 base plates.
Yeah.
They're about. I'll throw up my phone next to it. They're about the size of my phone.
Yeah.
And these were done fairly quickly because they're pretty thin. But those are also super like base parts, and they are actually, and I'm just printing PLA, which is the most brittle of materials that you can use, and still fairly sturdy for what it's supposed to do. So
yeah,
just have to go print a bunch of other parts. But yeah, but
yeah,
I also printed all of those on the same bed at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and don't get me wrong, I love 3D printing, and
Mhm.
I really want a 3D printer, but there are some, speed issues with it. Though I did see some of the hospitals, like the IV drips, whatever the specific component was, that some manufacturer charges a stupid amount of money for. So the hospitals were out. They need them, especially right now. And so some guys came in, scanned the existing ones, were able to get up a mock and start 3D printing these things out. And they could get one out in probably a 3 to 4 hour time frame.
The ones that are just like you have the bag, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the tube
And
insert, and then the tube from the actual saline or bag or whatever.
Yeah, the actual piece was about maybe like 5-6 inches long, somewhere in there. But yeah, I think it's kind of like where
it's about a
saline tube or something goes in, and then other stuff comes out the bottom of it.
Yeah, depending on the material and the printer, you can definitely kick something that big out within like a 3 to 4 hour period.
Yeah,
and if you do what Prusa actually does this to actually make all of their 3D printers. They 3D print their own 3D printers. For the most part, they have some other parts that they actually have to get manufactured.
That sounds like Skynet.
No, like they'll manufacture like parts of the printers. Like there's a lot of plastic parts, like the PCBs and such. They can't 3D print, but the rest of it they can. Nice. So, yeah, and actually, you can actually buy an upgrade kit for them. Like they actually sell you like the STLs to make your own upgrade parts.
Yep,
that's cool.
So every time it's like the best open source 3D printing project, but their factory is set up so that every single one of their what is he doing? Just wait.
I forgot I was going to put it on before we started.
Yeah, I should throw mine on as well then. But Prusa's got they've got 100,000 printers in a line for their assembly line. It is nuts, and they're like literally.
Holy crap! Really?
Yeah, they're literally going like all day, all the time, 24/7.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And they actually, the guy wrote an app, or he wrote an app for it to display status whenever the print was done. There was a print failure, needed more filament, all this other stuff. So like they have that down to a T, and they're making multiple parts on a single bed at the same time. So like one machine will be doing one part, but it'll be doing like 4 or 5 of them at a time. You could probably do the same thing with those IV drips, where you just set them all up in like assembly line fashion, if you get your settings right for the printer. But
Yeah.
my turn to throw in my mask.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know if he can still hear me, but the only real kind of sucky thing with that 3D printer, doing it for the hospital, was the company who makes those components were trying to bring suit against the people doing the 3D prints, which was complete bullshit, because they were saying they couldn't get them to them in any type of a timely manner. So, yeah. And Cappy's back.
Yeah, and we're good.
Hey, could you hear what I said?
Nope.
So the crappy part about what I was talking about with that hospital,
Mhm.
so the company who actually manufactures those pieces that there was a shortage of, apparently are trying to sue the people and keep them from 3D printing parts.
Well, that's dumb.
Yeah. It's like, that's,
Dude,
yeah.
we came up with the solution. The hospital obviously needed this. You
Yeah.
really want to get into a fight on something over the morality of saving lives versus your fucking
you want to
patent?
know who goes bankrupt really quickly? Your company's the kind that goes bankrupt very quickly.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Adrian, your camera is still on.
I know.
Get off Pornhub for.
What's like my balls are
5
hanging inside of
minutes.
my
Yeah, I was like, oh, where we go? Corona.
I'm trying to put the hedgehog in focus instead of me.
It's a good-looking hedgehog.
Yeah, somebody was giving it away at like B-Sides Nashville last year.
Interesting.
It had a little shit on to the company logo, but I took that off, of course.
Of course. So I'm wondering, will outdoor lawn services still be able to function?
Yes,
No.
they
Well,
are here.
Ooh, looky there. Okay, we got yes and a no. So, thoughts?
They are here. Well, okay, so the day that the quarantine officially started in this county, guess what I woke up to?
Trash not being taken out.
Just everyone. They had leaf blowers, lawnmowers, everything. It was full force. Like every other Wednesday that I have, that I'm here, it's always lawn day. Like groundskeepers show up, or the groundskeeping company shows up, and they're doing their thing.
Yeah.
I was like, we gotta be kidding me.
So yours
yeah.
is still running. Jack's, yours have shut down?
Yes, because my grass is getting kind of tall and it's starting to look like a jungle. And I called him up and he was like, "Not happening. I'm not leaving the house. Have a nice day."
Yeah, and that's what I'm not sure about. If I need to get my if I need to fix my mower, because both my hydros are out on the 0 turn, or go ahead and get that fixed, or bring in somebody cheap who is still mowing. We will see, because grass is going to be growing here very, very soon, and yeah. Or also think about getting a compact and say, screw it, I'm going to dump the money and get a loader and a backhoe on it and have fun. I really want to go compact route, but we'll see.
If only your kids were a little older.
Oh my goodness. Yes. That would be so much fun.
I think that was my pseudo birthday present for my 13th birthday. Was
a compact tractor?
No, it wasn't that. It was a crappy $300 push mower.
Holy cow! How much do push mowers cost these days?
It was like $300.
A crappy one is $300.
I mean, it was a Craftsman, so that you're paying for the name.
Yeah, who owns Craftsman now?
I don't know.
Sears doesn't own it? I thought Sears owns it.
It's still Sears, but it's they're all made in China now.
Okay, well, who acquired that? Home Depot, didn't they acquire at least like the hand tool side? I think. Home Depot or Lowe's. I think one of them acquired the hand tool side.
I think it might have been Lowe's, actually, from where I got it. I don't remember.
Yeah.
No, because Home Depot's thing is Rigid, so that's their like premier brand.
Yeah.
And then Walmart's is like Wolf or whatever. I can't remember.
Yeah. Who bought Sears?
Tiger uppercut.
Who is Eddie Lambert? Apparently, Eddie Lambert, a federal bankruptcy court judge, approved the sale of Sears Holding to billionaire Eddie Lambert. Oh, and yeah, this was February of last year. Huh. Okay. So whoever Eddie Lambert is owns some Sears stores.
Awesome.
All of them. That exist.
Yeah, that still exist. I don't know of any Sears that are still open around here. So good evening, Charles.
Good evening, my brothers. Yeah.
Hey, Charles.
Happy, wonderful Wednesday, quarantine style. Yep, yep. How's everyone doing? Loving the mask, by the way.
Oh, yes. Doing well. How are you doing? I mean, you got to be on a pretty big, desire to have Starbucks again. It's been probably like a week now.
Yeah, it's been a while. You know what's funny? I don't miss it.
That was funny. You're right.
Yeah, I don't miss it. I've been brewing like 1 cup of coffee a day, if that. Mainly just been like sipping on a lot of water. And of course, like jumping around and, when.
Yeah, attempting to rap. Yeah, that's always amusing.
I was trying to fulfill my rap dream. That was
yes.
It. Yeah, I just had to fulfill.
Well, hopefully you're there.
Yeah, I am, and it won't happen again.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh my goodness.
see, those videos are not something I'm, society not allow me to comment on those.
Oh God!
But here, I can definitely say, hey, Charles, don't do that again.
No, that was a once. That was a one. I had fun though, man. I just, like I said, keep people, just have some fun and some sanity. Because I know everybody's watched like the news. Like if you watch too much of it, it can just really just play on your mind. So hopefully people just, like get up and wiggle a little bit. Apparently, after people saw that video on Twitter, it looks like it's going to be a belly dancing con or something. It's going to come fit. Somebody said they're going to do belly dancing. I'm like, oh, okay. Do it. Hey, if it inspires something, however, but as for me, as far as like what project's concerned, I mean, we're still working remotely. Of course, that doesn't change.
Oh yeah.
Everything's kind of frozen right now. So, especially with the government side being closed, so a lot of the contracts have been kind of like at a standstill right now. So everything's kind of at a standstill. So to keep ourselves like going, I've actually put more hours into Rust and WebAssembly. That's going to be my next stream, by the way, called Back on My Browser BS. How to use how to get Rust to run inside of a browser using WebAssembly. So
Rusty assembly.
Rusty assembly. Now,
I might have to send you a repo here after the show because one of my buddies built out a MVC framework for that specific purpose. Yeah.
And WebAssembly? Okay, yeah.
I don't think it's in I'd have to look at it again, but I think it's just straight Rust. I don't think WebAssembly.
Okay, because what I'm looking at doing, what had me thinking about it in that way. So, when you're doing like phishing campaigns and HTAs and everything else, just trying to look at more creative ways to like doing HTAs or just in general, just phishing in general. So I was just like, all right, here's Rust. And then I don't know, for some reason, I was just looking at like WebAssembly, just kind of like looking around at it and just seeing exactly what it does and how it functions. And apparently you can write whatever it is that you're going to write and language, and then you compile it. You compile it into like WebAssembly modules, and then you host those WebAssembly modules within the web page. So you can call it like you would call like a job. It would look like a JavaScript extension, but it's WebAssembly code that runs in the background. So I was like, I wonder if you're doing that same with an HTA, and of course, when you get an HTA, you want to download it or whatever else, and that specific code, or maybe that's some kind of way to kind of like bypass AV. I don't know. It's just things I'm just like trying,
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. I mean, I've been on that mission now for the last 3 or 4 days because I'm actually writing my first client, server in Rust, and actually connected to it, sort of like a little bit of like a bind shell type thing. Just trying out different stuff in Rust. Yeah.
Rust bind shell, nice.
Yeah. But you can use you not only Rust you could use C or C++ with WebAssembly as well too. So you can write your C code or your C++ code and compile it into a WebAssembly binary, and you can run that binary within the browser. So just stuff that I've actually just been learning. So yeah, fun stuff.
You should get it. You should get it to have Rust run WebAssembly that then makes a Java applet that then does process hollowing to then take over a client device.
Holy shit.
all I just heard was eventually I'm gonna do all of this in Python.
It'll be a one-liner in Python, but in Rust and everything else. Just like, oh my god,
that would be wild.
The writing, just like walls covered in writing behind me in code. It's like I'm losing my effing mind.
Oh my goodness! And on the threat hunting side, found some pretty interesting stuff. Found a couple of executables that were actually connecting out to the world and connecting to the malicious sites. Ooh. So I get to put that in my report, and this is not a continuous threat hunt. So this is just
one-time engagement.
Yeah, so this is pretty cool.
Turn and burn kind of deal.
Yeah, turn and burn. So yeah, I like the threat intel. I like the different side as well. So I've been looking at BD. I'm just saying BD because we're live.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah, so just learning tips and tricks here and there. So
cool.
It's good stuff.
I actually got to finish after a long time of not doing it. Carbon Black Cloud training. Woo.
Yay! How you like Carbon Black?
So now I know every single part of their options and also how to sell it, weirdly enough.
Did they ever put provisions in there so you can't just like Mimicat straight from their interface? Hey, don't worry. They're not the only one. There's others you can do that from too.
Remember we talked about this a long time ago?
A long time ago.
Long time ago.
I will say, just make sure that your access controls to any EDR or whatever solution where you get console level access, no matter what the product name. Make sure the person using it is actually who they say they are.
Yeah, plus, almost exclusively, the product is going to trust itself. So if it issues a command, it doesn't matter if it's malicious, whatever, it's going to run that command. So, yeah.
And you get System 32 on Windows most of the time. So. Or root.
That should be the name of a threat hunting platform. Trust itself.
I don't know. I think Zero Trust would be a good one. Is that a company name? That would be a good company.
No, I don't think it is.
I mean, because we talk about Zero Trust and trying to work more towards a Zero Trust all the time. But yeah, it would be an excellent company name.
I'm Googling.
Microsoft. It's just so far I'm only finding people talking about what Zero Trust is.
Zero trust companies. Blah, 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 blah. Zero trust security. No, that's from Akamai or Akamai.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Hey, do you want to just put in a company name of Zero Trust real quick? I'm sure that's not going to take forever right now.
And .com is taken.
Can we do zero.trust?
No, that would be trust. You buying trust.com and owning then the subdomain of zero.
No. Zero.trust.
You want me to spell out DOT? Because if I put a dot, trust.com then. Oh, you mean like trust as the extension?
Yeah, trust as the top level domain.
Is trust a top level domain?
I don't know, but anyone watching, you want to crowdfund $100,000 so we can get .trust?
All right, come on, yay!
But yeah, no, trust is not a top level domain.
Yeah, but it can be $100,000. Give it to us, and we'll go do that.
So what? Zero Trust Sec is taken.
Wow.
I know. Zero Trust Security is also. What in the freak are these people doing?
No. And Colonel Khan is virtual this week, guys and gals.
Which one?
Colonel
Khan.
Oh, I was thinking SCOTUS's. What? He calls that one Kringle Con.
Oh yeah, Kringle.
Yeah.
Kringle. It's just crazy. That's the only part that does make me a little sad is the fact that I can't see everybody in person,
Yeah, me too. Oh, sorry.
Oh, damn. Just
And now we have internet COVID.
Yeah. So it's COVID 199, people.
TCP-19.
TCP-19.
Or wait, no, it's a cough. It's UDP-19.
Oh yeah, so it's continuous.
No, it just sprays everywhere.
And it only attacks the kernel, your internal kernel.
Oh, good. Charles is doing one of these. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Oh, jeez. What am I doing?
What was it? The hamburgers? No, the hamburger thing for the TCP stack.
Yeah. The peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Yeah. Well, we can call. Can we call Kubernetics? We got to break it down a little bit. I'm gonna have some fun with this one. So Kubernetics is like we can call it the what do we call Kubernetes? Matter of fact, we could call it the surge protector. We're gonna call Kubernetics the surge protector, and the Docker images are actually what you plug into the surge protector. So think about it. You got Kubernetes as a surge protector, and for each plug is a Docker image. The Docker image is actually a plug. And then you can flip the switch. You can do whatever you need to do. If you want to turn off just one Docker image and keep everything else running with the more advanced surge protectors, aka Kubernetics, then there you go. Just some of Kubernetics and Docker images all in one rack.
I always use the idea of at least with Docker of a Russian nesting doll. So everything is in its own little space. Every container is a set size for that application, and Kubernetes is just a bunch of those in a box.
So are you telling me that you've ran Docker inside of Docker?
Okay, I actually.
Even
so,
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right, I have not, but I'm pulling it up.
The
Give me a
Docker.
minute.
Check this. While he's pulling that up, I got the perfect analogy. This is all regularly spearmint gum. Remember back in the day when you opened up the regular spearmint and it had the package and it had the single pieces of gum?
Mhm.
Yes.
Like you open it up, Kubernetics could be the wrapper, could be the outside, the coating, the regular spearmint or double mint, right? The green pack. And
Hey,
each
double
stick
your
of gum
pleasure,
is a
double
Docker
your
image.
fun.
Pretty much, yeah. And
With
each
double
stick,
mint
is a
gum.
each stick of gum is a Docker image. And you can put different flavors in it. And
Oh, by the way,
here we go.
I got a question about the notes. Someone at one point put in bold indicates they're on this cast, but it's not like we go into each cast and actually say who all is on it.
Well,
So I'm gonna remove that line.
Yeah, we did that for one episode. All right, so here's an official image from Docker. That is
nice. To
that
run
is-
within Docker.
Yeah, that's Docker running inside of Docker.
how many
yeah.
Docker images does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll Center, the Tootsie Pop?
Oh,
The world may never know.
Right.
just one.
One.
Read that second command line argument. So the top one is Docker images pipe less. Read that out real quick and tell me what's wrong with it. You guys should be trained enough to know what this is now.
Oh. Run it. Remove. Link. What the? Some Docker shit.
Yeah. So the thing that I'm pointing out, and my cursor isn't being captured right now, that Docker, that second command, so that second line where it says tanon at nameless and Docker run -it tac privileged. What have I been saying for the past 3 years? Do not run privileged container. Do not give a container all of the privileges.
We're still running it.
Yeah. And the other interesting fact is that this opens up a HTTP on TCP on 2375. Guess what that does? If you put that onto an AWS box.
Gives the gifts that keep on giving.
Your entire Docker infrastructure is open to the internet, meaning I can do Docker TAC-H to your IP and you're boned.
More open than a guy's goals in a serious relationship.
And the only reason that I found this, and by the way, there's 1 billion downloads of this, billion plus, apparently. I found this open to the internet. So, yes.
Bingo.
Nice.
It's bad. All right, that's enough of me ripping on Docker for the rest of
them. You got somebody jumping in the background, sir.
I do. I have a pantsless kid in the background.
Hey.
Oh, I was like,
hey.
Yeah, oh, it's just Israel's kid.
That's the little tiny short neighbor who just loves to jump over here constantly.
Yay.
They don't like it whenever I call them
vertically
challenged though.
Is he Kramer?
You can't say that because he said, "Look, Daddy."
Yes. Hey. Hi. I see you.
Oh, the awesomest.
I'm just waiting for him to knock it over.
Yeah.
Thankfully, that has never happened yet.
What? I'm watching.
Appropriately, I said yet.
And that'll trump the lotion archive.
Oh, yes.
Oh, he's coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Let's.
Up.
He's going to sit in the rocking chair. Okay.
Okay, awesome.
That's allowed.
Yeah. So, with all of this going on, what do you think? Think by June or July, we should be Back?
Q4, I would say, at the very latest.
Hmm.
Because they're already talking. My thing is they're already talking about getting a vaccine right away.
Well, but I don't think we'll necessarily be.
I don't think we'll be in quarantine as much though.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't think we'll wait until a full-blown release of a vaccine is occurring before everybody re-enters the workforce.
Yeah, economically, I don't think we can possibly do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
small
what I'm
businesses
saying.
close down.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing too is you're going to have companies that are probably going to pull a Kenny Rogers and know when to fold him.
Well, we've already
and-
had quite a few fold them, so
Yeah,
there will be more.
yeah, I'm talking like more are gonna fold, and it's gonna be nuts. But there's an upside to everything because now there's room for innovation to take place. There's going to be more investment into tech, into the medical field.
A whole lot more
Some
people
more.
going into camming. Yeah.
Yeah, like think about it. Like you have universities right now that and professors that are still teaching. They're just doing it remote, and some of these guys are not like they're not young guys at all. There was one tweet I saw where this like 80-year-old professor just put up like the elf on a shelf dude in front of it on that's all you needed was like one thing, and then he was directing the entire class through Zoom, and it was awesome. It was really cool. But yeah, it's a viable way for us to do this. Like we don't need to have, at least on like the university side, and I've been saying this since I ever was at a university, we don't need giant universities in terms of like buildings and stuff. So
Correct. Look at like University of Phoenix.
Or Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, but like University of Phoenix, I think they actually had a physical presence, but they became very quickly almost exclusively a web-based facility years and years ago.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is that a lot of them are moving. We're already moving to online classes anyway. Even like when I started college or taking college courses back in like 2014, there was the option for online.
So you were like what, 9 at that point?
Yeah, sure. We'll call myself an educational prodigy.
Okay.
Whatever.
Sounds good, Doogie.
Doogie.
Right, but what really slowed that down initially was the fact of the VA like cutting people's GI bills, especially their post 9/11. Like they're saying, well, okay, if you're taking strictly online classes, you get less than if you were to take the classes in person. And now they've just now reversed that. So I have a feeling that's going to keep cranking. And if only student loans would do the same. That says, hey, look, you can't charge full price for online courses. Maybe that would cut the cost of education somewhat.
Another article I saw about online education that makes some professors paranoid, depending on what they're teaching, is they're afraid of people. Like, let's say someone's teaching an X studies course. One of the grievance studies courses, they're afraid of people recording it and putting it online. Possible embarrassment.
Well, too bad. I mean, if that's part of your curriculum, that should be fine to be online.
It's a part of someone's degree program. Somebody had to approve that class.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's get into the show notes.
Okay.
We got a few announcements in there. A few different conferences have moved their dates because of Corona-chan. And I have a few dates. Besides, Columbus is postponed to August 21st. Con is postponed to September 4th through the 6th. HUSETCon, they haven't announced yet. They're postponing. Not quite sure when. COISSA. I'm not sure what the CO is on that. Colorado. What is CO?
CEO should be Colorado.
InfoSec Summit has been moved to September 30th through October 1st. Show Me Con is postponed to October 1st through the 2nd. And B-Sides KC is postponed to October 16th to the 17th. I mean.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and that one was going to be like within the next month or so here. So, and we're just now getting to the point of like, oh crap, we gotta get going here. And there's a lot of groups around here that can't meet up, which kind of sucks.
Yeah. And like B-Sides Atlanta was going to be this Friday, no, this Saturday. They're going to be completely web-based now. So, you guys like my whistling? I've been practicing.
Apparently, Hoosier HackerCon is also going to be doing some webinars that will be announced here shortly.
Okay.
I'm trying to get details from another organizer about that, about how we're going about that.
She said, hey, Israel, she's saying, baby.
Nice. Ethan, look.
There you go.
It's a weird dude. He probably doesn't even remember me.
This is a play date. You guys thought you were going to be watching Irongeek's webcast. We're actually having kiddo play dates tonight.
Okay.
Really?
And Nathan Rojas was asking in the chat how many nested ESXi installs are possible.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Yeah, that would essentially be however much. It's going to depend on your resources. So ESX is going to take some processor, right? And then you're going to have to assign at least one processor to every other. Actually, ESX may require 2 processors, but you're going to be able to go as deep as your kind of requirements or your computing power and memory allow you to on a specific host. Did that make sense? Was that like literate? Okay, good.
I get it, but I've also been doing that kind of stuff for a long time.
I mean, I don't know if I would do it, but yeah, you could. On one of my servers, I could probably go like, I'd say probably 10 deep. I don't know why I would ever do that, but I could. It would be interesting, though. Okay. Yes. Breach report.
Breach report! Breach report! Breach
Yes,
report!
breach report.
Breach report!
So, all right, now my cat wants to leave me alone. Yay! Gotta move cat. NutriBullet hit with credit card skimming or stealing malware, also known as a mage cart attack. Sucks for the guys that wrote mage cart, but that's not what we're calling it. Okay, so mage cart hackers have struck again. This time with the NutriBullet website, according to new research by the security firm RiskIQ. Hackers broke into the blender maker's website several times over the past 2 months, injected malicious credit card skimming malware on its payment pages, and siphoned off credit card numbers and other personal data like names, billing address, expiry dates, and card verification values, which is your CVV number on the back of your card, of unexpected blender buyers.
A blender buyer? Oh, a blender. Oh, yes. Actually, I really do like their blenders.
Yeah, they're nice. I don't have one, but I've used one.
I don't have one. People I know have them, and they are nice. I have a Ninja, and really like my Ninja. I actually use that Ninja 3 times a day at minimum, like 7 days a week. That thing just rocks. But yeah, NutriBullet got hit. So, what did you happen to see the time frame? Because I missed seeing the time frame that Mage Cart was actually on their servers.
Yeah, so it only says that it happened a couple times, or at least over the past 2 months. Several times over the past 2 months.
Okay. So if you have been on NutriBullet's site and ordered anything recently, yeah, your data was probably compromised and included.
Wah, wah, wah. I gotta get my soundboard back. No, I don't.
Yeah, what happened to that?
I had to reset all
Drop
of my
whiskey on it?
Some of that KC barbecue.
Or you eat? Yeah, you just had it all lathered up with barbecue and just dripping down.
Yeah, when you move to Kansas, there's two things that you get when you become a Kansas resident. You get you automatically get a gun, and then you also have to run all of your electronics on what's the place? On like Sweet Baby Ray's.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say like a barbecue enema.
Yeah, no.
That's the initiation.
No, that's Missouri. That's if you're casing low.
Oh, okay.
I'm surprised Jack didn't like freak out at that one.
Why would I freak out?
I didn't. I just thought you would find that funny, and I got nothing.
Jack's like, F it.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
What?
That's another thing. Dang, now I'm hurting again because I wanted to go to Sec KC.
Oh yeah, you were gonna be in town.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. I mean, you could still go to KC.
Just virtually. I wanted to be in person.
Well, I mean, you could still go there in person. There's not going to be a conference for you to go to, but you could go there in person. Yeah.
I know.
I mean, what the only thing in KC is, I mean, up down, and some burnt ends. I mean,
up, down, burn ends, and beer. A lot of beer.
That's fine with me.
Beer.
Some good whiskey here too.
Duff.
Duff beer.
Duff beer. I'm on like season 3 of The Simpsons. That should get me through. That should get me through the whole Corona. Right? I'm just saying.
You're gonna hit an episode where they like predicted coronavirus. You're gonna be like, no,
I saw it. No.
And it's gonna be from like
now
90. What? It's gonna be from one of their seasons.
Yeah,
In the 90s.
you know what show I'm angry at? Mr. Robot, because they've been doing all this stuff. Streets cleared and total chaos, and now look. Now look. The only difference is we don't got people marching the streets screaming F society. Well, somewhat.
Well, I mean, a lot of people I feel are maybe not as aligned with like Mr. Robot and maybe more aligned with like The Purge. So
yeah.
We'll see.
The people online talk about, it's going to be martial law. I'm like, okay.
As I have Mr. Robot hanging up behind me right now.
Yeah, that's
that would tip you off. You got 2 shows back there. One ended, the other one ended, I think, okay.
Mm-hmm.
People have mixed feelings about it, though.
But yeah, when you get a chance during your quarantine time, definitely check out Halt and Catch Fire. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah, I've got to watch that. I've been going through Witcher, so.
Halt and Catch Fire. Are they done?
Yeah,
that ended or
the show is over.
Yeah,
but I mean, all 4 seasons were awesome. I mean, you won't be disappointed.
I don't know. I was rather bored when I watched it, so I stopped watching it.
Oh well, sorry, Jack. It didn't entertain you.
Yeah, Charles will be by here soon to virus you up. Don't worry.
Oh man. Virus you up. That, you know what? That could be, that could be you. If a single guy's out there, yeah, baby, let me come by and virus you up tonight.
Jack, that one video you sent me on Facebook.
Oh man, I should have sent it to y'all as well.
Oh my god. I was like, I don't know what this is gonna be, and I started watching. I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty funny. I have diabetes.
Well, I have no filter when it comes to posting on Facebook. So
I like broke out at like the perfect time. Jeez.
Oh man.
Right, what we got next?
Okay, next up, World Health Organization has been targeted by attackers. So I didn't see in here the actual whatever their internal domain or domain name, whatever the internal domain name or kind of how they have their different domains named, from a classification system. Apparently, attackers did some domain squatting, found out what their internal domain name was, and then registered a similar domain name actually out on the web and started sending emails looking to be phishing emails that appear to be from their internal, like their actual email domains and everything. So I don't know how successful they were. It doesn't seem like they were successful at all, at least per this article. But messages were received by employees, so they made it through any type of spam filters and any automated technology that was there. But yeah, they were trying to phish them and then be able to move on from there. Either open, first shells, tunnels back to their web servers, whatever the case may be. Run malware on the endpoint. So, but they were targeted, and we see us every day. We're not going to see it decrease, and I'm sure they probably are targeted in multiple other times other than right now. But right now, since they are the leading authority on coronavirus, they're going to make the big headlines. So, anybody got anything on that? People did some domain squatting pretty decently, started phishing them, but
same thing I would do.
Yeah.
Like, I just wouldn't be doing it to them right now, but that's because
you're not a complete asshole.
I'm not a black hat, and publicly I will say I'm a white hat.
See, and not an asshole. Like that is no. I mean, like at a time like this, that is the trait of an ass.
Yeah,
right?
and
like other times, yeah, sure, go ahead, fish the world out of them. But whenever there's actually people dying, public is on edge. Globally, that's where I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much an ass move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the last, I think I said this before we started the cast, but like the last 3 engagements that I've had have been IRs surrounding like they're almost, I almost want to call them like coronavirus themed stuff, and it's so like they're attacking like the new VPN solutions that are coming up. They're attacking the because now they know that there's sessions there, so there's a couple of critical vulnerabilities out there that are very easy to exploit, and I've been dealing with that, and a lot of them have been Soda no Kibi.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
Have you been seeing any shit tricks still happening with anybody you've been working with?
Not directly with me. I've also seen stuff that there. 2 out of the 3 were Soda no Kibi. 1 was just data exfil. Like they got onto the VPN and they fished someone, and then they just started like grabbing information,
like
grabbing data.
Were they being secretive about it at all, like taking it out DNS or just
TeamViewer.
Oh, okay.
There's like TeamViewer, a bunch of like Megafile,
yeah,
a bunch of other stuff, and I'm like, the fact that this worked is, and I'm not saying the company wasn't doing their job, but the fact that this worked in the first place is kind of odd. Like this is like stuff I would probably have pulled if I was hacking. I would have pulled off when I was actually 10. It's like
Yeah, like 4 years ago. Yeah.
yeah, sure. We'll
It'll be
go with
awesome
that.
here in like 2 more years once you're allowed to drive. Man, I can't wait for that day.
Oh man,
I'm gonna take you to Chuck E. Cheese.
there's one right down the street. Let's go. You got to drive down here though.
Oh yeah, are your restaurants still open?
Restaurants are not open, but actually, let me check Uber Eats real quick. If you give me an Uber Eats credit, I will
closed.
I will order.
I can't say I've ever used a Uber Eats.
I can't. They're kind of expensive, aren't they, for delivery?
Kinda.
Yeah, I mean, I live out here in the middle of nowhere, so we don't have anybody who delivers to us. Maybe Uber Eats would.
Yeah. So here we go. I've got Chuck E. Cheese pulled up, and if you send me a credit of of $10, I will eat this cauliflower crust pizza.
Is that the only thing available? Is cauliflower crust?
Nope, it was the first thing I saw, and I'm like, that's actually kind of funny.
Oh.
It might not be that bad. I mean, I've had some cauliflower replacement for like rice, and if you're trying to cut on carbs,
yeah,
it may be okay. I don't know. I haven't had the crust one yet.
So I've had cauliflower crusted pizza, both commercially and homemade. I've had the what's it called? The one that's got a mozzarella base. I'll remember it later. I really like the texture of the cauliflower one, but it doesn't have like really any flavor. So that part kind of sucks. But then the mozzarella one, the texture is okay. It's not as firm as I like, but the flavor is amazing. I think like a perfect mixture would be like half cauliflower, half of the mozzarella, and doing like a blend of the two, I think would be freaking awesome. But I haven't gotten around to doing that yet.
Yeah, I've been getting more onto like cauliflower rice and all that fun stuff, or chopped cauliflower, or whatever. And it's actually not that bad. And it's like, it's different enough that it's actually like, okay, it's not rice or whatever, but it's still like, okay, this is good. Like, this is a good change.
Yeah, and it's one of those things like if you're doing like the cauliflower rice, yeah, they call it cauliflower rice, but no, it's not going to taste like rice. It's not going to have the exact same consistency of rice. It's like having almond milk, trying to compare that to regular milk. No, they're not going to taste the same. So you have to go into it realizing, yeah, it's going to taste a little different. It's going to kind of remind you of it, but yeah, the taste is definitely going to be different. Okay. Leak. Like a faucet.
So, as we've been talking about this, and I've kind of mentioned this already, once it loads the page, come on. All right. That's annoying. Apparently a new tab is not allowed right now. Hang on 1 second.
Which browser?
Firefox. But I'm just trying to go to bleeping computer. All right.
Hey, you don't have to get that mad. You don't have to throw that bleep in
there. Yes, I do, because it is actually from bleeping computer. So 3 more ransomware families have created sites to leak stolen data. Hey, Charles, that's also what Docker looks like to me most of the time. So I'll run through these real quickly because we've kind of walked through a couple of these in the past couple of weeks. Nephilim ransomware we talked about last week. They have a site up now for corporate leaks. Any of the data that they scrape before they encrypt a corp's data and all that fun jazz. Clap ransomware. Cool. They've had a site called Clop Leaks. and has been paid. They have the repertoire of taking down Maastricht University that had to pay 30 bitcoins to recover their data, and SecMet ransomware, which is same kind of thing, recover files txt. They don't have, or at least in this article, they don't have a thing that says, hey, this is who they attack, blah blah blah. So meh. So yeah, it's more places are trying to, or more groups are trying to get this. They now follow in the footsteps of Sono Kibia, as we talked about before, Nemty, and Doppelpaymer. So that's fun.
Doppelpaymer reminds me of a doppelganger.
Double, double, double.
Doppel.
So yeah, it's bad. It's gonna get worse from here on out, though, especially since, like what we were talking about, like people are gonna be an asshole. They still have a bottom line. Right now, they're trying to get you to pull the trigger on all of their phishing emails that are coronavirus sensitive. I was just scrolling through any run earlier. There are a ton of COVID-19 related, like map trackers, website detail, or like detailed websites, like all this other stuff. That's just malware.
Yeah.
Know your source that you're going to. Don't open something that you didn't ask for. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
All the fun stuff.
Remember the old adage: don't click shit.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Get to the chopper.
Chopper down. No.
Put the cookie down.
No.
I actually saw a video of him eating supper, I presume, in his house, and like a pony and a donkey walked up
What
to
the?
him while he's eating at the table, and he's like feeding lettuce to the pony off of his plate. Like,
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
I never would have expected that.
Me neither.
Yeah, I'm not sure what animal. Someone else said there was some kind of, one of them was some kind of miniature horse. I thought they were the same kind of animal, though. You think one was a donkey and one was a?
I thought one looked like a pony or something. The other one looked like a donkey. Yeah, I mean they could have been the same, but yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Well, you know, he does know how to get smashed.
You know what?
Maria Shriver was hot back in the day.
Okay.
What's her name?
Breaking. What was that? What was it? Lifting iron. What was that iron? That weightlifting movie he did back in the 70s. Pumping iron. And myself, a lot of women in that one, and because there was that one maid. Who, I don't know if you ever seen this, the love child he had with that maid. But it looks dead up. It looks a lot like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little darker complected because the maid was a Hispanic of some variety, but I mean, he looks a whole lot like Arnold.
Well, now I gotta look that up.
Yeah,
Oh,
there was no denying the paternity of that baby.
Yeah.
he looks like Arnold.
It came out and he was like, "Let me out."
Yep, he looks like Arnold.
Yeah. No condom.
Oh, this is bad. Good to the abortionist. No, that's
Oh.
no, he didn't do that. That's good. That's fine. That is good.
Oh.
And also, no, he has been in the child's life and he's been taking care of him. So, you know,
Yeah.
I'm not saying what he did was right, but he's, you know, he's living up to his what he should be doing.
Yeah, responsibility. So
That's good.
Get to the convenience store now. We need a plan B.
Oh, shit.
Oh man.
This went to a dark place. This is going to be clipped.
Plan B. Oh man.
Wow.
It's okay. He didn't make it because Randy Savage was driving.
Oh yeah.
Actually, was that an accident on Randy Savage's part completely, or was it like he had a heart attack?
It was before my time, dude.
Randy Savage didn't die that long ago, did he?
It was before I was coherent enough to know who Randy Savage was.
Because the last thing I saw him in, he was in the first Spider-Man movie as Bonesaw McGraw.
Oh no, yeah, duh. That was my time.
Bonesaw.
That would have been like 2002.
He also played a bit part on King of the Hill too.
He apparently passed away in 2011.
Yeah.
He had a heart attack.
Yeah, at 58. You know, I did not realize that Bonesaw character was him.
Yeah. And he was jacked as an old man. He was fairly old. He was jacked. He was bigger then than he was when he was in the WWE or WWF at the time, I think.
Yeah, F.
He's got that very distinct voice. You know, the oh yeah. I mean, as soon as you hear that, you fucking know who he is.
You got 3 minutes with Bonesaw. You're in the cage.
Yeah, he had a heart attack while driving.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, I miss Randy.
That's actually how my grandpa went too. He had a heart attack while driving. He plowed into the same graveyard that he's now buried in.
Wow.
To go dark there for a bit.
Yeah.
Well, a little bit. Well, maybe not getting out of the dark too far, but we're on info data and stats, and nothing's in the show notes. But I did want to bring up the Earn It Act, or the COVID stimulus that's being pushed right now.
I thought it got it got through the Senate last night and has to go back to the House.
Yeah, so the bill got approved, and now it's got to go again. And right now, as it stands, there's like, in terms of the money, it's $1,200 if you make under $75,000 as a individual. As a family, if you're over 150,
less than or equal to 150,000.
Yeah, less than or equal to $150,000 as a family. For each child that you have in your family, it's an extra $500.
Yeah.
And anything over 99,000 for adults, you get, or for individuals, you get nothing.
Oh, okay. Shit.
So we now know what Charles makes.
Wait,
no.
So, if I make under 90, but I have no kids, what do I get?
So
you get
it's
a portion. You get a portion of like $1,200. It'll be less, but the idea is that you.
Over, so what is it? If you make like, I guess, $100K and over, then you don't get anything. If you're
as
single.
As an individual.
Now, if family,
if you're married,
double.
150K is your combined or less, then you get $2,400.
Oh, okay.
And then for any children you have, then it's an additional $500 over that.
Oh.
So
works in my favor because if it was just me, I'd be getting fuck all because I'm over 100K and
look at you, baller.
Well, yeah, I just got a raise too because of the year. But anyways, because my wife, now that I'm married, so yeah, it kind of worked in my favor because I'm under that.
Oh, you're golden then. You're good.
Yeah, I know, right? Give my fucking tax money back.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of taxes, actually, they extended. I read they actually extended to July. Yeah, because normally it'd be doing about 3 weeks, and now it's now it's in July, so it's way the fuck out there.
But that's why people are partying on Instagram. Okay.
Yeah, just make sure. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say you don't want a bunch of people running into the accountant and so forth, and
yeah.
The one thing I was going to say, just make sure that you're also familiar with what your state is doing. Even though that's federal, that doesn't necessarily mean that's what your state is doing. So make sure they're also extending it out too.
I have no income tax, so I don't give a fuck.
For you jackasses.
Good.
You don't have to do that.
Good for you, Dallas.
Such a brat.
I do have to deal with my sales taxes and my all those still, but that's me because I'm a business owner.
Look at me! I'm a business owner.
So actually, that's actually a really good segue because business is you are a licensed FFL. In that bill as well, they want to pass a bunch of gun stuff inside of that as well. From what
Yeah.
it sounds like, which I'm like, F that. You
I know
really want to put this down right now.
I
Now,
know
Yeah.
the Democrats wanted to tack on a whole bunch of stuff, but did they end up
Yeah.
actually tacking it on, or did that get taken back out?
Last that I was told, it's there, but once it goes to back, I have no idea.
well, I mean, any negative gun stuff going into the House would pass. The Senate's the only place where you could potentially keep anti-gun things out. If there's anti-gun things in the bill leaving the Senate, it will 100% pass the House.
It's kind of a trippy that a whole bunch of people who don't know anything about guns wanted to get guns because of the current emergency.
Oh
My
yeah.
understanding were
Yeah.
people who are actually calling up places and saying, "Hey, can you just mail it to me?"
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I have a few Facebook groups I'm in which are for like gun shop owners, and yeah, people are saying they're completely like sold out everything, and oh, it's funny. People going in California, they're going to buy a gun. Like, oh, it's so easy. You can buy it super easily. No, here's all the paperwork you have to do, including here's
There's so many background checks.
California's deal record of sale. Oh wait, the system's down. Oh, okay, wait, we finally got back up. Okay, wait 10 days. It's not that fucking easy, is it, bitch?
Oh yeah, I heard some of the what was it what is the database called now? It's escaping me.
Nix.
Nix.
I heard
Yeah,
that was down for a while.
It hasn't been down. It's just been so fucking overwhelmed. That was actually other day I had a guy he bought a handgun through me, and I told him, hey, look, there's a chance that you may get a default delay. Like if there's any confusion at all, they will push you on delay, and we will not hear anything for at least 3 days. So be prepared for that.
I found a really good deal on a 9mm SIG, and it's still on delay. So
Well,
I'm the experiment for the
yeah.
podcast.
When did you submit?
That would have been Monday.
Monday. So
yeah.
your delay will clear tomorrow then, if they want to proceed. It depends on who you go through, because some places have a policy of even if it's delayed, they still won't transfer it.
Yeah, at least with Kansas State law, it's 3 days. They can give it to you.
Well,
delayed.
That's federal. That's not even state. That's just
is
federal.
It
yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But like I said, some stores may have a policy of even though it's still delayed and the legal time has passed, they may not transfer it without a proceed.
Yeah, and probably with my situation where it's like I'm a new resident and all this other stuff, it's just
and a felon and all those other things. Yeah.
yeah.
So, have you got your
felon at 13?
Have you got your CHL yet, there, Cappy?
CHL,
concealed handgun license?
No, not yet.
Get it. It's a NICS exemption. Get it in Kansas.
Okay.
So literally, instead of calling the FBI, they check a box and write the information down, and you're good to go. That's it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know we have constitutional carry, so I will get that. Is that good throughout the rest of the United States as well?
Every state's different because every state has different policies on how they handle their permits and whatnot. Like Michigan's actually got revoked because they were issuing permits to people without a background check. So basically, in order to qualify as NICS exempt, the permit has to be background checked of a equal or greater level than what NICS does, and they have to periodically recheck it and check it no more than every 5 years to make sure it's still valid.
Yeah, I think one of the guys. So when I went to go to the store to go purchase one, there's a guy next to me, and he actually had that, and he was able to go out immediately. And I'm standing there like, oh my gosh, what do I need to do to get out of here? And they were like, yeah, it's delayed. I'm like, all right, cool.
Did they call NICS or do they do the online application for you?
Online.
Okay, good. Because I've heard people trying to call right now and getting hold for 3 hours or more.
Yeah. I was there for I was there for at least a couple hours, just because I was like, I found a deal, so I was like, okay, cool, like this is like $100 off, so I'm gonna go get this, and it's not a bad gun, and I've shot it before, so I'm like, yeah, I liked it, try it. Not a bad idea. And they also were very low on ammo. That's the funny thing too. It's like,
The
like you
gun
guys-
store was low on ammo.
yeah, just the
Yeah.
Most gun stores are.
They're out of everything that's common because people are panic buying that too.
yeah, they had it limited. The store I went to, they had it limited to 3 packages or 3 boxes per person, or 3 items per person of ammunition. So I actually got some nice like target range ammo for like $60. I was like, and it was 300 rounds. I'm like, that's actually not bad.
Yeah. And some places are saying you can only buy ammunition if you're on the range, or like 1 box per customer. So, because everyone's selling way the fuck out.
Luckily, I inherited a bunch from my uncle, and I bought up a lot of stuff like over a year ago, probably when I got various firearms. It was like it's cheaper to buy the stuff in 1,000 rounds at a time.
Oh yeah.
That's when people in the news report he had thousands of rounds of ammunition. Well, no shit. If you go out to the range much at all, it's much cheaper to do it that way.
Yeah.
Ammo crate, 1,000 rounds of like 5.56 and assorted whatever, and you're pretty much good. If you're an AR guy.
I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have 5.56, I mean that can be dirt cheap too for 1,000 rounds.
Oh yeah. If you go like cheap steel case, you can get it for like 16, 17 cents each.
What is it? It's Wolf something.
Tula, Wolf Tool, yeah.
Yeah, Wolf,
yeah.
Steel case. I won't shoot steel casings, but yeah, it does get very cheap.
That's if you want to throw it. You don't throw that stuff through your like baby AR. You throw that through like I hate this AR.
Yeah,
or something that's good. Yeah.
Good
quality one.
Yeah, kind of like your shotgun where you'll throw tacks, into your shot shell, or just weird crap like that. That's the same type of AR that I would fire Wolf through. Like no, not my good one.
I think the only Wolf ammo I've got is I got from my AK.
Yeah,
nothing high end. It's like a Warsaw 10, like a Romanian.
Yeah, Wassers are made by Romania, by Cougar. I mean, you'll find a lot of Wolf ammunition that's made for the 2 AK platforms and other Russian calibers.
The 5.45 or 7.62?
5.45. But Wolf 7.62 by 39 and 5.45 by 39, but also 7.60 by 54 rimmed.
Yeah. I was asking Adrian which caliber it was.
Oh, it's 7.62 X39.
Yeah.
Nice. My buddy actually just picked up a Romanian AK, and I think it was a Romanian AK, and
it's reliable.
I think it's 7.62.
Does it have the Donkey Dong grip?
Yeah.
Donkey Dong.
Yeah,
grip.
that's an AMD. That's probably an AMD 65.
I have no clue what the Donkey Dong grip is, but it reminds me of a badonkadonk.
Have you seen like an RPK?
Yeah.
Like the wood foregrip.
Oh yeah.
It has like a literally wooden vertical foregrip on it, and it's called the Dong or Donkey Dong usually.
It doesn't have a vertical foregrip on it. It's just a normal wood everything. It looks like a classic AK that you would see in like a 80s action film.
I think we should now call it the reverse badonkadonk.
It actually has a wooden foregrip on the handguard. It hangs down.
Yes.
Donkey.
I gotta look up Donkey Dong grip. Let's see what this comes up with.
Oh, you'll find it. No, it's a very common name for it.
He's also gonna find some very other common names for something.
Also, too,
he's correct. I did find it. Yeah, it doesn't have one of those. No.
Yeah, my buddy's got one that does have the Donkey Dong foregrip.
Where to get reverse donkey schlong Romanian wood grip?
What?
Romanian dong lower hand guard. Oh yeah, there's some good stuff. Oh, there we got some bad stuff. Yeah, that's a questionable one to do a search on.
Sorry, you just see me new there.
Jesus. Oh my god, that was.
I didn't realize you were so curved, but okay.
I see one where they have a collapsible stock, and the collapsible stock folds in over the Donkey Dong.
Yeah, usually a lot of the
Like,
acetyl remains
goes
they're
sideways?
under folders. No, they fold under. They have under and over folders.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's not like the full. It's not a full stock, but it's like a cage stock almost.
Kind of. So it's basically got two bars that come off the back of the rich trunnion that comes into a plate, and
Oh, yeah.
it folds under with the pistol grip going through the two bars.
Like this. Boy,
So-
let me show
so
you my
you-
Donkey Kong. What crap?
so you- So you insert the stock into the dong.
This thing.
Yeah.
That's some next level docking right there.
Yep.
And demonetized.
Dude, we were demonetized the moment that we got into this stream. Oh my god. Back to tile mode.
On an interesting note, I just wanted to give a shout out to our brother that we lost over the week, Human Malware.
Yeah.
Just wanted to give him a rest in peace and send him my condolences to the family. I met him once in person, but we've actually just used to chat on DM and Twitter. He didn't live too far where his accident occurred. He wasn't too far from where I lived at. So, yeah, just wanted to give. Just while I was thinking about it, I just wanted to just give that shout out.
Yep, he was a good guy.
Yeah.
Worked a ton, but good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, too, it was a car accident from what I heard.
Yeah, it wasn't too far from where I live. I was watching the news. I saw it pop up on the news, but I wasn't making the connection. I was just like, wow, I saw you know how you were doing something, you see something out of the corner of your eye, like, well, I hope
Yeah.
whatever happened that person's okay, not realizing that, he wasn't, So, yeah, you just never know. So,
too, especially seeing something on the news, because most the interactions are here, right?
Yeah.
Online, virtual. We see each other at like a conference once in a while,
Yeah.
but you kind of lose, kind of that touch of, oh yeah, like there's some of them are still here, like locally, and yeah, they come up on the news, and you got to take a double, triple check to be like, oh crap, I do know him. Yeah.
Because that's why. Well, I kind of shouted it out yesterday on the cast that Irongeek did yesterday. I was like, oh shit, because it just threw me for a loop there, And Dave, Dave Kennedy pointed it out at first. That's where I saw the tweet, and then that's when I was just like, oh my goodness. And then and then I made the connection where I read about it online. They had it in the Fairfax online. And then, of course, I remember seeing that on the news. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
But, yeah, just want to say rest in peace. And to all my hacker family, please be safe. If you're traveling, please be safe out there. And, please just, be careful.
Yeah.
True.
Panic's got everyone driving like crazy right now. I nearly got not even like on a busy street, like literally turning into my apartment complex. A lady like pulled it like full, like 30 miles an hour, pulled around the corner and nearly rammed into me head on. I was like, oh my God. And I'm at like a full stop, like waiting for her to turn, like go around me. And she like turned way too quickly. And
Yeah, you just got to do defensive drive. You got to drive for yourself and others, seems like.
Yep.
Or get a vehicle big enough where you can just drive over them.
Well, that's foot.
I think her car was going to have more damage than mine, but I also didn't want to pay for her car.
I don't blame you, man. It's good. It's nuts.
Mm.
Has anybody seen Zombieland 2 Double Tap?
Yes, I saw it in theaters.
Yeah. So remember, there was a monster truck in there. That is my future plan. If things really hit bad, I will be finding a monster truck. And I will drive it much better than certain people drove it in the movie.
God, that was hilarious.
Spoilers, motherfucker.
What? I'm not saying who drove it. I'm just saying there's a monster truck. It was driven. One of the people who drove it did very poorly.
Was it Gravedigger?
No, but subsequently, side thought, my son really, really likes monster trucks right now. And he even has like a Gravedigger monster truck that he takes with him like everywhere. I swear it's like his security blanket or whatever. But yeah, he loves monster trucks right now.
Wasn't that was just the thing between Bigfoot and I remember when Gravedigger first came out. That's crazy.
Yeah, Dennis Anderson with Gravedigger, and then I didn't keep up with it for years and years. And apparently, Dennis Anderson is kind of like the main reason why Monster Trucks and Monster Jam even like still exist, because he got his son into it. He does like Son of a Digger.
Yeah.
And then all these, Bigfoot's gone. I don't really know what happened to Bigfoot.
Yeah, I don't know what happened either.
Kind of all those trucks back in the 80s and Bigfoot was kind of the original, old school one, right? And then all those other trucks from like the 80s are gone, and there's like Spider-Man, I think, or something now. Yeah. But I remember back in the 80s, I think there was even like or maybe early 90s, there was like Superman that my brother liked to watch. But yeah, there's very few like old school ones left, but Gravedigger. And they actually have like, I think 3 or 4 Gravedigger trucks with different like racers in them who will compete. And it's gotten a lot more interesting than it was back in the 80s too.
Yeah.
They'll do like these skills challenges, and like one of the guys will go up and where they are like, this is the hood, the front of the truck, and they'll end up like fully up like this, keeping their balance, like walking backwards and forwards. And I mean, it's crazy some of the stuff they're doing.
Art in motion.
Yeah. I mean, I'll sit down while he's watching it, and I'm like an hour and a half later, like, oh crap, I can't believe I watched this for an hour and a half, but I enjoy myself watching it. It's interesting.
That's when they've got a double clutch.
I got lucky to see one of their shows when I was a little kid in Tennessee. I got to see the actual like Bigfoot. And this one was Gravedigger. And I went to spend some time with my grandmother in the summer, and they had tickets to a show, and I got to go to see a show. Simple times, man. When all I cared about, I had the Bigfoot toy, and got some Mellow Yellow.
Mellow Yellow.
Yeah, and the only reason I got Mellow Yellow because I saw Dusty Rhodes on a commercial.
Mellow Yellow, is that what Pepsi makes? Oh no, is that what Coke makes?
That was a Coke soda. It was like Mellow Yellow.
Coke makes it.
Okay, yeah. Mountain Dew is made by Pepsi, I believe.
Yeah, and I was a Dusty Rhodes fan, so when he came on a commercial with Mellow Yellow, that's why I started drinking Mellow Yellow. Simple times.
Oh yes.
Well, simple times for a simple guy.
That's right. Yeah, and I actually got to go to a monster truck show in Indianapolis. It was apparently, because I don't really remember it all that much. My parents told me I was there, and I knew I was there, but I don't remember it. But I think it was like my 8th birthday or somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. So yeah, back in the 80s though. It's been a long time. It
has been. And speaking of, so birthday wise, I never imagined I get to spend it indoors, but really had a good time. Yeah.
I know, because technically you're a social butterfly, so
I am. Yes.
Yeah.
It was rough.
And you got to figure out some way to still be able to spread your wings, just not, within 6 foot of anybody else.
Exactly. Like we danced. I just danced. We had strawberry cake, excuse me. And I brought 40 in the Corona. Like, it's interesting.
Wait, you said you were drinking a 40 of Corona?
No, I brought 40 in during Corona.
Oh, I know. You're old now.
I know, right? I don't feel like I'm 40.
Well, it's good. I mean, because it's really how you feel, not how you look. So
Yeah. Well,
I'm glad you feel younger.
I don't look like the average 40-year-old.
Well, of course. I mean, as Jack can attest to, black don't crack, so you're good. And two, you protect that lotion. So
Yeah, I do.
I'm sure you are all buttered up. You're good to go.
Dude,
Man,
I believe in exfoliating. Okay, exfoliation is the key. That is the key.
Now, is that like a weekly, monthly, daily process? What daily you exfoliate?
I don't mess around, man. I got exfoliation cream. Put that on. Woo!
I probably need to look into that because I have awfully dry skin.
Yeah, you feel the tingling. You be like, oh, this is great. You know it's working.
So what do you exfoliate with now?
Well, I use this. I got some exfoliation cream because while I was using from whatever was from Johnson & Johnson, then I went online and got some good exfoliation cream that my buddy put me onto. But which I'm out. So right now I'm actually using Clean and Clear.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen that.
Yeah, I mean that's very good too because it has the minerals and stuff. When you rub it on your face, you actually feel it tingling and digging deep into your pores and I mean it's great stuff. Yeah, I do that daily, man.
Now,
I don't miss a beat. I like
with. I gotta say I've never exfoliated. So with exfoliating, it sounds like it's a cream or something. So you put the cream on and then you let it sit for like 5 minutes and then wash it off, or
yes, that's correct.
Okay.
So and then it gets into your pores, clears out your pores, and then and then that's it.
Now, whenever you wash it off, well, I guess if it's soap kind of binds to junk, right? So if it actually binds to it, I guess I'd wash off and not like go into other pores. Because that's always my thought. Like, okay, so it went out of pore A, and now you're wiping your face off, and now it just went over into pore B, type of thing.
Yeah. I also use a plain white cloth.
Oh, that's racist.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. That way you can see what's going on. Nah, I use a plain white cloth because think about it, with the different colored cloth and stuff, it has like that extra dye in it to make it that color. So that's why you get the plain white cloth. It's just, it's not all of that extra stuff in it. And it's what one of my friends from college, she does like modeling, and she put me onto that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Onto the Clean and Clear stuff?
Yeah, exfoliation period, and using a white. Yeah. So,
gotcha.
Okay. Advice. I was like, oh. Yeah, so now she does. She did the modeling thing for a while, but it just wasn't like how they portrayed to be on TV. So now she's like a modeling consultant, where she consults young models that
those who can do, those who can't teach.
There you go.
Consult.
Yep. Stop it, man. There's some consultants out here that can actually do.
I wasn't talking about you, 14-year-old.
No, not me. What? Nah.
Those that can't do consulting go into sales.
Ooh. Nah. Hey,
yeah.
Hey, I gotta defend my sales brethren. We got.
Bro, you're getting out. You're getting out of sales.
I'm out. I've been out of sales for a while, but I just but sales. I have to say this, man. That is the toughest. I think that's the toughest job. One of the toughest. Between numbers, seriously, between like the quotas, the numbers, and making sure you're meeting your quota. If you have like a bad quarter, and you're stressing to see if you're even gonna be there for the next quarter.
If you have a Corona quarter. Woo.
Yeah. Seriously, listening to the sales team talk, and I'm just like, oh shoot, like all of them is just like kind of trying to figure out ways how to save their quarter, their budget. It's nuts. No wonder I see a lot of sales folks drink a lot. I get it. get it. I do. I get it. You know, I'd be stressed too. Probably be looking like I'm 70 instead of 40. But I did that long enough.
You're supposed to say looking like I'm 70 instead of 25. Come on, Charles, get with it.
Yeah, no, I'm going
You
with
need to hang out with some older women. Then you'll understand
No.
how that works.
No, I'm trying to be. Can't be hanging out with the older women.
Too much lotion.
Yeah, no, they'd be wanting some of the lotion. And
The
Charles,
the
won't give away his lotion.
Listen, the married men in the crew, we trying to stay alive, people.
That is accurate.
Yeah, our wives will kill.
Well, at least you know that it'll probably be a knife instead of a gun. The Nix is on fire right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it's like I said, it's I like I said, I'm glad we do these virtual talks, conferences, which we've been doing for a while, us, you know, as a group. So I enjoy that, man. I you know, keep it going. Trying to get even more creative. Here's a question too, and I was thinking about this like most of the week. I started figuring. Do you think tech in general? Now, here's the thing. Do you think there's too much? Do you think there's too much infosec and not enough hacking, or too much hacking
Yes.
and not enough infosec? I think first. Too much
infosec. Too much infosec, not enough hacking. Like, if I wanted to go and find a
Well, but what in what context though?
Okay, so
I mean, because there's obviously a larger need for blue teamers. You know, there's definite need for red teamers, but there's such a deficiency on blue team. But in the same sense, I think you need both sides to work together to have a good solution. So yes, what is your context?
But you guys are hackers as well too. Like you're not is like I said, just whether you're defending, because you got to know what to look for.
Agreed, but we have a huge deficit on blue team understanding red team, whereas red team essentially has to understand blue team. So that's a given, right? But blue teamers in general don't understand red team.
Right, and how do we change? And that's the thing. How do we change that? Like I'm seeing it now as I'm on the blue team stuff. Mm-hmm. Like I see it. I do see a difference.
Yeah.
You know, that I didn't see before, and I do think that both sides should collaborate more.
Yes. 100%.
Because again, because there's a lot of stuff before Threat Hunter I would never even think about before even joining the blue team side of the house. Yeah. Now that I've joined the blue team and still doing red teaming, my vision, my scope when it comes to security as a whole has broadened. Because now I look at things in a different light, and not just like from a offensive tunnel vision.
I mean, I don't know your description of that. Wouldn't that make you purple?
I wouldn't even call myself anything. So honestly, I don't even want to call myself anything. I just rather just be, someone who just like understands security. And, whether I'm doing it from an offensive standpoint or a defensive standpoint, I just rather be that instead of just being like, oh yeah, that guy's purple, that guy's red, that guy's blue. Because at the end of the day, if you think about all of us sitting here on this cast are hackers, whether you build stuff or you break it, it doesn't matter because you still have to understand underlying technology. Each of us here can actually write some type of code in general. I'm not saying a full-blown development and software that you write for others. I'm just saying all of us have the ability here to script. That's writing some form of code.
Yeah.
So I just look at it like, we're all hackers. You're just because you choose to be a defender. You're just choosing to be a defender if you want to, But
well, I mean, there's a skill set associated with it, right?
Yeah.
On both sides, there is a skill set associated, and it's new skills that have to be learned.
Yeah.
If a blue teamer kind of comes up the ranks as a blue teamer, never, especially in today's day and age, what's the number one thing within corporate America operating system side. Windows. If a person who's come up securing and defending Windows environments for 10, 15 years, and you throw them over into Linux and they've never really got into Linux all that much, they're going to have a rough time, at least for probably a year or two, figuring out how Linux works, how these commands are working, how the interactions occur, things like that.
Yeah.
And in the same way, like you, flip side, you didn't have a lot of experience with Active Directory, right? And so
I didn't have that experience.
Correct. Yeah. And so you're now getting that experience. Whereas, if somebody came up like as a sysadmin in any Windows environment, they have extensive experience with NAD. Or, and network admin, like just a lot of defenders, no matter what it is, maybe not even security, work a lot with an Active Directory. But too, from a red teaming side, that's essential. You have to be able to hack through and, dump creds and do everything else, get golden tickets and curb roasting and everything else with Active Directory. So there's definitely different skills that have to be learned, and it's definitely doable, but we definitely see it as offense versus defense. Hey, are you offense or are you defense? We don't see, like you were talking about, we don't see a lot of collaboration between the two. We will work and do like a purple team exercise where the defenders will defend at the same time knowing the offensive's coming and do a real time engagement. Okay, did you catch this? No? Okay, we need to be able to catch that. Did you catch this one? Yep. Okay, cool. And kind of go all the way down the gambit.
Right.
So,
and that's
that's an exercise. That's not necessarily on the individual. I think a lot of it has to do with individual. Like you self-study, Caprico self-studies more than probably the rest of us. I self-study some,
you do not, sir. Don't you do that.
No, you and Cappy definitely put a ton of time in, more than the average individual. But I think
I guess I'm chopped liver then, huh?
Yeah, I'm like, I do not have a business. I don't have my ISP calling me up and saying, "Hey, take down your business grade firewall, asshole."
That's what I said. I said, man, he ain't gonna do that to himself. I see some of the posts he posts.
No, like, dude, I'm like, Jack's got. I want Jack's lab because that.
Well,
that's great.
But Jack also doesn't fully disclose everything he does. So yes, Jack, I'm sure you do a lot, but I just don't know the extent of what you do.
I think he does. I think he does a lot. Anybody that can hold on to do that type of intel, like the way he words it, because you can talk to Jack about something like, yeah, Jack, so yeah, such and such, so he'd be like, well, you do know. Well, I'm not gonna say anything, but like. It's like a 3-letter agency, but this girl named Deborah used to work like this, and A, B, C, D, but I can't go into it too much. You know what I'm saying? You be like, yeah. Pretty much, he told you what he's done, but not told you what he's done. You just left with like the look on your face, like, oh shit, okay. That's art, my friend. That is art. So I just look, like I said, that's why on even on Twitter feeds, you'll never see me post just only offensive stuff. I'll do defense, whatever's related to security. And I only, like I said, only just, I like to ask these questions sometimes. I like to get others feedback. But yeah, personally, I just think that, I don't know, and this is just my biggest fear. I just don't want the community to die. Meaning, from a, I guess, creative standpoint. Does that make sense?
Well, keep in mind there's more than one community. Saying that InfoSec or hacking is one community, does. Yeah.
So do you think it's just one community, or is it just like?
I think there's multiple clicks. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Well, I think I would say the InfoSec community that we know is the top of the iceberg, whereas the true InfoSec community is the part of the iceberg underwater. The people that go to one conference every other year who don't necessarily attend meetups, don't interact with people online, in an InfoSec type of capacity. They go to work, they do their job, they go home. And I would still classify probably 80 to 90% of the InfoSec individuals out there are probably in that realm.
The underwater iceberg.
Yeah. They aren't, spreading love or hate on Twitter.
Yeah,
they're not on Twitter all that much. They signed up and they got an account 5 or 6 years ago. They probably follow 30, 40 people, have 5 or 6 followers themselves. And I follow some of them.
I kind of wish I never got on Twitter. Then again, I would have never met most of y'all if I hadn't got on Twitter. So.
Right. Come on, man.
I get a lot of shit on Twitter from people. And I find out even some people I never even, talk to, I just block them. They get pissed when you block them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've had some people, like I said, I've had some people who I just I didn't block, I just muted them because they were just saying, well, you're too happy. And it's like, I'm like, okay.
That is true. You are very happy.
I didn't know that was a bothersome thing. But, well, nobody can be this happy all the time. I'm like, yeah. I said, look, man, and it was a guy. I'll just put it out there. It was a guy. I was like, look, man, I have problems just like everybody else, but I just choose to take a different road and look at those problems. I just choose not to be down in the dumps and just keep spreading the negative virus. I'll put it that way.
That's right.
Oh man, life is bad. Life is this. Life sucks. This is a crapshoot. But yeah, I just choose not to go that route. I mean, you are free to choose to do that, but yeah, I had to mute that guy, man. Every day it was a story. I was like, dang, man. Like, I was just trying to spread positivity. And that was yeah.
I think I know who you're talking about, but but you bring, but for me, I'm typically just a big cynic anyway, and to me, you just bring that different perspective to lift me up a little bit.
Well, that's the goal, man. I'm glad, that's the goal. Shoot, like I said, I never wanted to be that kind of adult that's like those Wall Street workers that I've seen years ago as a kid. They never smiled. They never had any emotion. They just walked to work. You come home from school, they still have the same expression on their face. They're motionless. I just never wanted to be that kind of adult.
That's the cocaine.
Well, and it's and to them, it's all about the almighty dollar. I mean,
yeah,
it's about getting that bonus and what they're willing to do to get that bonus.
Yeah. See, I'm not willing to do anything to get a bonus. And I'm saying it live because I like I said, money's just a tool for me. I'm not willing to cut somebody's throat off just to get $1. That's just not how I am. Like,
I mean, you don't have to cut it all the way off.
But you know what I mean. Some people will try to do like terrible stuff to somebody else just so they can kind of get a promotion or an extra dollar or whatever. Then that's just not my thing.
Keep their job.
But I mean, that's the Wall Street shark mentality.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not in Wall Street, because I'm not a shark. I just
you're a huggable teddy bear.
I'm teddy bear, man.
A teddy with the lotion.
Yes, teddy with the lotion. But I actually want to see people do great. I actually want to see people win. I'm actually genuinely happy for
winner chicken dinner.
They do something or they get a certificate. Yes, right. That's just like I don't know. I forgot what account it was. I don't know if it's a young man or young lady. They got their CH, and people were kind of like, "Oh, but that's no," kind of like like downplaying it. And I'm like, you never know. That might be the biggest sort of where they are in their career.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm even if a person right now was super excited about a Security Plus, never like down what they've accomplished, because that could be something that was their biggest accomplishment. It could be just to be starting out. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
And that person that you shit on today could be, somebody you're working with 5 years from now.
Your boss tomorrow.
Exactly. Trust me, because look, we've all been. Dude, I was super excited when I got my A+. Are you kidding me? That was the highlight of my life, man. I celebrated when I got that A+. I passed both. I said, "Oh yes, I could build any computer."
I am a genius.
Yeah,
I don't.
I was
Give me
excited.
6 figures.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. When I got my A+, my entire fucking class hated me.
Shoot,
What, you
I-
said
Because
the
you were the one
curve?
that passed.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was me and another guy. We were the only ones that passed, and
Mhm.
they knew I was going to get it. They sort of knew that he was. So when it happened, they were just like just hateful about it. But it was whatever.
I got my A+, and then I got promoted to PC Tech. Oh man.
Woo!
I said, "Woo!" I was making cable. I already knew how to make cables because I started out doing. Now I can make cables and put on operating systems and ghost them. Oh, and hook up the WhatsApp Go so you can go to my little pager. Oh, I was living the life, man.
Wait, what's up, gold? That sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm. It goes alerts and stuff that get sent to your pager.
Yeah,
Windows.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it works on Windows. Worked on Windows. I had them running on my Windows 2000 servers. Yeah, man. And
Yeah.
and like I said, I had an NT 4.0 box that ran our web server.
Yeah.
Only thing is, I was scared to death of patching it because anytime you patch it, you get the blue screen of death. I always had to revert. When that happened, I just had to revert back from tape to bring the website back.
Yeah.
Those are the only things I hated about patching that NT box. It was one NT box. It used to drive me crazy. But yeah, fun times though, man. Yeah. So when anybody accomplishes something, I'm just generally happy for them, man. It don't do you no good. It don't bring you nothing good by being upset with somebody because they accomplished something, and you just poo poo on there. Hey, yeah. Yeah, poo poo. So yeah, I like I said, this is not my DNA. I have fun with this stuff. The day that I stop having fun is the day I can't do it no more. But I'm just having too much fun with this in general. And the little dances and stuff, that's just extracurricular. That's just me being me.
They are fun.
I don't know, man. I didn't have a message for that Tuesday, and I said, you know what? I just want people to get up and dance. I don't care what it is, just dance.
Dance, dance, dance.
That's it. Just get up and dance, move around. Quarantine's not gonna keep me down.
Ain't no quarantine gonna hold my body down.
Woo! Go ahead. Not gonna slow me down. Oh no, I've got to keep on going.
Who does that song?
Gene Wilder, not Gene Wilder. Sorry, not Gene Wilder. What the fuck? Sorry. Damn.
I mean, it being on the radio on the 80s a whole hell of a lot, but
Yeah. Nobody gonna break up my stride. Nobody gonna hold me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving. But in my case, I got to keep on coding. Hey,
Matthew Wilder.
Matthew
Yeah.
Wilder. Okay, talking about Gene. Oh man, I'm terrible. I had Willy Wonka on my mind. Don't worry about me.
Like, no.
Terrible.
I did. Classic movie. I like
Classic.
golden tickets. Yes, I love golden tickets. They make life.
Come with me into the AD for all the tickets you could ever want.
Yeah. Like oompa doopa doopity doo. I have something just for you.
Hash here, hash there. Oh my God, me. I've now got EAOB.
What do you get when your site is not encoded.
All right, what did y'all think of the remake of sorts of that movie, the one that has
Johnny
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp in it?
No,
I liked it.
I didn't support it. No,
I did like it. It was a little darker, but I
Well,
thought,
Tim Burton's a weird dude.
yes,
But it was closer to the book anyway.
correct for
Yeah.
those of you like Jack who actually read,
Mhm.
because you know Jack reads books, so he
I
likes
love
to throw that in our face that he can read.
I remember the book being read to me in class when I was like 5th grade.
No, you know what's my favorite book? The Outsiders. With Pony Boy and Johnny.
I think I saw the movie adaptation at one point in time way back when, but I haven't read the book.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the book.
that was a whole series.
Mm-hmm. I read that whole series.
Huh.
Yeah, that, and I used to have like Hardy Boy Mysteries.
Oh, Hardy Boy, yeah.
Yeah,
I love Hardy Boy.
Mysteries.
My grandpa used to read to me before I go to sleep, and she'd read me something called The Free Investigators.
Mm-hmm.
But the novels she had, I think they've changed it a couple times since then, but at one point, they would always have Alfred Hitchcock feature in the books. Because these books probably came from like either the late 50s or early 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure they actually belonged to my uncle, my grandmother's son. But she would read me those.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many people know about the Free Investigators. That wasn't
I've
as
never heard
popular
of
as
it.
wasn't as popular as the Hardy Boys or Nancy Drew or any of that.
Yeah.
Huh.
But just like, I don't know, just like reading those books, it gives you some kind of foundation. And I'm just like, oh. And then from there, just started reading other stuff. Like reading about Magellan. Oddly enough, Magellan and the conquistadors.
You're so gelling,
Yeah, I'm so gelling.
like Magellan.
Yeah. Stalin and the crew, Gandhi,
Stalin and the you know, like, you know, Stalin and his boys.
Stalin and the boys, Stalin and the crew. I remember my friend was like, "What the hell, man? Stalin,
Wow.
really?" I'm like, "Yeah, Joseph Stalin, yeah."
I'm like, that took me a second. I'm like, wait, what?
But if people look at it like I said, I look at like which is weird to be so happy just to read some of the darkest stuff and listen to the darkest stuff. Shout out to Cap. I like the new song.
I saw where that was going. I don't like it.
What?
Huh?
What's wrong with it?
No, I just didn't like where that was going. I'm like, I know where this is going. I don't like it.
Well, here's the thing. But see, you think, and that's the thing, it's all from the perspective of the listener. I don't think your music's actually dark. I think your music is light. It's how can I say it? Listening to your music is no different than when you're driving. Say you're driving in the wee hours of the morning, you're watching the sunrise. The dark is fading away, but you know, in my mind, when I'm listening to the music, the darkness is fading away. I'm driving down an open road. Birds are chirping. The weather's nice. It's a little bit chilly because it's cold in the morning. This is what I envision as I'm listening to some of your songs.
Yeah, the new song, that was the plan.
See, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, like, when I listen to Amy Winehouse, "Tears Dry on Their Own," her song is actually, it's like hope. It's like in a form of hope. If you listen to the melody and the cadence, like she's in a dark place, but then she moves up a little in her octave. She moves up a little bit more, and it kind of gives us a sign of hope that she's coming out of that dark situation in that song. Yeah, that's how I analyze a lot of the songs, even with the Cardigans, and I have all of their albums. I'm a huge fan of the Cardigans,
and wearing them.
Huh?
And wearing them.
And wearing them. Yeah.
Yes.
And first band on the moon, classic. Yes, I am Iron Man. Iron Man, Choke, Happy Meal, Love Fool. I mean, these are, yeah. Love Fool, how can I put this? Love Fool is like, when I listen to that song, I think of the beginning of spring. Because winter's melting away and it's a new season. Of course, the pollen's out and people are out more now, and it's just like, love me, love me. I don't know. It just gives me that spring vibe.
Okay.
So yeah. Yeah, it's weird. My psyche works a little. It's just different and weird. Not weird, but just different.
Oh, it's weird. Not joking.
No.
The new album is going to be a little bit more of an even light to dark ratio.
Yes. I'm here for it. That is in my Spotify playlist, sir.
Yep, it'll be there. It's all about, the theme was duality, I guess. So,
and it's great music for coding programmers. Great music for coding.
mm-hmm.
Especially when a semicolon ain't going in the right place. When you put that thing on, man, might help you win something. Might help you do something.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just had a really dumb idea.
Spill it.
Should hit up dual core and be like, listen to a song, just do something. I don't care if you actually do it or not.
Why not?
Get dual core in on it. Get Victor on it. That would be actually kind of cool. I actually found out that, just weird off tangent, that one of my old coworkers, oh my gosh, I think it's his mom or his aunt is somehow related by marriage to Tech Nine. I'm like, there's a rule in sociology where you're 2 to 3 people away from any individual in the world. Mm-hmm. Like someone will know, like from me to someone else to Obama kind of thing, or to a president or whatever. And so I was like, well, that rule just got proven right there. It was 3 people. No, that'd be cool.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we rock.
That would be cool. All right. Do we want to keep going on tangents, or do we want to hit show notes?
Keep going. Yep, keep going.
Show notes.
On show notes. Excuse me. Show notes.
Yeah, let's keep going on tangents or show notes. Just keep going. Just keep going. Keep on going. Keep on trucking. Keep on going. Keep on going like the hackers that found an O-Day in Microsoft. Again.
Cappy, you want to hit this one?
I haven't read any of it, but I will do my darndest to.
Okay.
And I'm going to lose lighting here, so it's just going to be a black screen.
Just FYI, the Kaspersky one will probably be better to go off of.
Okay.
It'll actually be more research-oriented.
All right. For some reason, my Firefox is deciding to be very dumb right now, so give me a moment here.
Well, while Cappy's doing that, first off, from what I have heard, there will be no out-of-band patch for this. Microsoft will address it next patch Tuesday. But this has to do specifically with the Adobe Type Manager library and how it's vulnerable within Microsoft. Just real quick, there were times when, to see proprietary Adobe fonts in Windows, you had to install additional software, Adobe Type Manager. This was not very convenient for the end user, so Adobe eventually opened the specs up for its formats, and Microsoft built the font support into the OS. So that is what the manager library is used for. So originally you had to install it, had to do all that, and so many people used it that Microsoft just kind of integrated it. but it has underlying issues.
Yeah, it looks like it's a sandbox, or sorry, app container sandbox with limited privileges and capabilities. Okay. So they've got pretty much everything inside of like an app armor kind of sandbox right now, but it will be able to execute code. It just won't be able to it will have limited privileges and capabilities. Why does that sound like a false statement? Anytime that I hear container limited privileges and capabilities, I think, nah. They found a way around that. There's probably some like Nmap interactive shell style attack. Dude, that's an old one. That was one of my first hacks, or first things that I hacked. I was like, holy cow, that's nuts.
Nice. But yeah, it is a 0 day out there. It probably won't be widely exploited if outside of a targeted attack. I mean, you're not going to probably see it in too many drive-bys since this will be patched pretty quickly. So the people who are going to be utilizing this are going to be those, obviously nation state, if they can get it built up soon enough, which they have the resources to do, or larger scale criminal gangs. But the nation states are where this will most likely be developed very quickly if it hasn't been already. So hopefully you won't be seeing this attack any of your systems. I wouldn't expect to see it.
I would not think so.
Yeah, there are a couple workarounds, though. Turn off the preview and detail panes, turn off web client service, which will disable WebDAV, and disable the atmfd.dll library, which I don't know. It's probably down sys32. No clue what it does.
Wait, what was that last one?
atmfd.dll.
That's just Adobe
fire department. Oh, okay. So that's the actual library for the Adobe.
Yeah, that's the library for that font file. If you're using Photoshop and a bunch of other Adobe products, that's where all of your fonts are being loaded in on Windows. So if you're a content creator or content designer, or whatever your title is, artist, I don't care. Whenever there's a patch for this, just watch out for it. And Adobe, I think, has fixed that, and it's all done via Creative Cloud now, so it shouldn't impact you. But yeah.
There you go. Okay.
Man, pulling knowledge from my dev life. Holy cow.
I know.
Where I was like content creator something.
Yes. That was before the drinking. And last
yes,
up.
It was. The start of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you started kind of early. You were at like 8, so.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah. And last up, weekly bulletin, not going all the way through it. I'm sure the Adobe type managers included in it, and probably quite a few others. Every bulletin will have just a crazy amount of things that there's definitely good information in there for sysadmins, network admins, security admins. If you're in management, take a peek at it. Make sure your employees are actually doing what they get paid to do. But get your stuff patched, keep it patched, and because just patching alone gets you out of, I'd say, 95+% of everything that could potentially attack you.
Or what actors are looking for.
Yeah, I mean, get you past the script kiddies, the drive-bys, the low-hanging fruit, and then actually put you up to a level that is more of a targeted type of attack that you have to start defending against. So
guess what's on the bulletin? I'm rescinding my statement at the beginning of the show.
What was your statement at the beginning of the show?
That I'd stop ripping on Docker.
Oh, okay. Dun, dun, dun.
Docker Compose Remote API.
API.
Yeah. So Docker Compose is how you build out your images. So you have a Docker file, then you do Docker Compose, and then it makes an image or an image file, an image hash, and that's how you run your image into a container. So basically, I'm not going to go too deep into this, but Docker Compose Remote API through 0.1.4 allows execution of arbitrary commands within quote index.js of package, the function, exec service name, blah, 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 uses the variable service name, which can be controlled by users without any sanitization. Meaning, if you have this out on the internet, and someone does Docker Compose and puts in arbitrary code or arbitrary commands, any sort of command there within that service name field, yeah, they just got RCE on your external network.
Internal. From external to internal, right?
It depends on where it's at. If your Docker infrastructure is hooked up to your internal,
well, at minimum, we're talking like DMZ though.
At minimum, you're talking DMZ.
Yeah.
If it's configured that way.
Or
but
a cloud instance.
Or a cloud instance
Yeah,
at the minimum. If your infrastructure for your, or if your Docker environment, let's put it this way, if your Docker environment is on an external facing network and then that pipes back to your internal network because you have some legacy databases, legacy applications that then feed into your website that's running on Docker. Because you did that, you can then pivot around to a bunch of other stuff just by composing an image that has extended or elevated privileges and basically add that container to that network and routing tables and all this other stuff, because when you have elevated privileges, it's like you're running as root on like a Kali box. You can basically do anything to your Kali box that you can do in a privileged container. And it's nuts. That's why I was giving crap earlier in the stream to Docker for showing that in their documentation. But yeah, so you could essentially pivot around the rest of the organization that way. And I'm waiting for a pen test where that becomes a reality for me, and then I'm going to do a damn good write-up.
Nice.
There are some days that I wish that I had less of a moral fortitude and just scrape all of the XMR botnets that I've followed.
Yeah, it's much more profitable, more risky, but more profitable too.
Mm-hmm. But then I would know how to catch me and all this other stuff.
Hey, that's called a good blue team right there.
The best attackers know how to get caught.
Well,
or
yeah,
know how not to get caught.
Yeah, because that's one of the things while on an attack, right? You're envisioning how the attack is going to go. You're trying to avoid potential situations where you will get caught. You know, you figure out what antivirus, what detections are in the environment. You figure out ways to bypass those just so you won't be detected. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that comes into play with red teaming.
Yeah.
That is the extent of the show notes, Adrian.
All right. Well, does anybody have any parting words before we close out on the stream for the night?
Live long and prosper.
Hack the shit. Don't talk shit.
All right, folks. We'll see you all next week.
Yep. Later, everybody.
I'm going to make that a shirt.